I'm gonna share it, and I'll be right back. 1 second.
Oop, there it is.
It should be on my wall. Yeah, there it goes.
Trying to figure out how to share it.
I got it right now, bro. I got it for you. I finagled it. I'm about to hit every group chat right now.
Okay. Trying to figure out how to share it.
You should see it hit all the group chats now. I'll open up the chat, and we already got 10 people and 9 people in it already.
Okay. There we go. All right, welcome everybody. This is a recap of AEW Dynamite March 26, 2025, and the show opens up hot with Kenny Omega's match versus Blake Christian. Before y'all jump into the match and how y'all think or what y'all think about it, I wanted to mention the stage setup. The big screen was pretty cool, and the Minecraft collab was pretty cool as well. I didn't expect that, but that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that came out of nowhere. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, for real. So what y'all think about the first matchup with Kenny Omega and
Send it around to you and then me. Send it that way. Runner.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, as soon as Kenny Omega's music hit, I got goosebumps and shit. But of course, I'm a big Kenny
Mm.
Omega fan. I thought the match was really good. I enjoyed it. The promo at the end was pretty good. Like, I thought it was all right. You know what I mean? I didn't see anything that stood out to me like some things did later on, but I thought it was all right.
Yeah, yes.
I hear that. Um, I mean, both of them are obviously we know what Kenny Omega is. Blake Christian is super underrated. I've been kind of pushing for. I don't know. I think he just fits that Bullet Club vibe. When he had that used to come up with the leather jacket, I kind of thought they should have just kind of slipped him right in there. Maybe even when it was Jay White, Juice, and the
Yeah.
Guns. We don't know what's going on there, but I think he kind of fit in that mold with them. I definitely enjoyed the match. It was, I mean, great way to start off the show.
Yes. I thought the match was booked pretty well. At first, Blake Christian was beating up Kenny Omega. I was like, "Oh, come on!" I
Yeah,
mean, he's a newcomer. You don't want him beating up our like one of the main guys. So, but it quickly changed, and Kenny like took over the second half of the match and
yeah,
just
it went
won.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
went pretty quick once he took control of the show.
All right. Then, so after the match, Kenny cuts a promo. Uh, talk about Mike Bailey, and Mike Bailey comes out, and he's not that bad on the mic, actually. Maybe
Yeah.
speak up a little bit more, but he was already ready to go, man. I really liked his little promo that he cut, letting Kenny
Yeah,
know that he's not playing around at Dynasty.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yep.
what you think of the promo, Renner?
I thought it was good. It started out, at a decent tone, and then he kind of built up the energy of it. So I thought it was all
Yeah.
right. Thought it was
All right.
good. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
well paced for him.
agree. What I would say is, yeah, I agree with you. Maybe tone wise, but I think maybe that's him. Like he comes off as like the super like good guy, but he
Mm,
also lets you know like I could turn it up.
yeah.
Like it's kind of like that Danielson vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like
He got a
not
couple boos in there, and then,
yeah, it's
but he
like
wasn't really like Hill.
yeah. So I think he'll be fine. What did you think about Ricochet popping up on the screen during the promo?
Man, dude looks like Andrew Tate, bro,
What did he say he was
with
getting
his
married?
get
Yeah,
up
you
and all
can't help
that.
that though. You can't help that. You look like him.
I liked it though. It was cool. I like the direction Ricochet's going with his character. So
Yeah, his
Yeah.
character work's been great. What do you think, Renna?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Did he say he was getting married or something like that?
He brought up his woman
Yeah.
again. He definitely brought
Yeah,
up his woman again. I mean, I think regardless if she joins the company or not, that'd probably be like a whole nother topic. But I think
Mhm.
we'll definitely see Samantha at some
Yeah.
point, even if it's just for an angle. Because first they Swerve brought up, yeah, Hut announced a girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure
Mhm.
exactly how you worded it, but then today Ricochet said it. You know,
Mhm. I thought they were
yeah,
already married, bro.
yeah, I honestly that I don't know for sure. I believe they are, but I don't want to throw a stamp on something I don't know for sure. But at the
yeah,
end of the day, though, I think that I don't see the point of constantly, bringing it up or for
Right.
dragging it on if she's not gonna appear. So, but
right.
I think Ricochet's doing the best promo work of his career,
Oh yeah,
easily,
Oh, absolutely.
easily. Not even like questionable. There's not even anything else close. So I enjoyed the promo. It worked going into the triple threat. Um, what did you guys think? Do you think that worked for the leading triple threat lead up, or would you have liked a little bit more?
Yeah. At least we got a little bit of build up with people actually in the ring talking, and I really enjoyed that. So, and I bet they're gonna do something else next week too, because I
Yeah, I
think what
agree.
it's 2 weeks before
I, I think
Dynasty now. Yeah,
I
about
believe
about
so.
11
two and a
days. Yeah,
half. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I bet they'll do something else on top of that. But I like the build of it. They're doing something. They're talking and all sorts. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So all right. So next we had the Chris Jericho backstage promo. He was kind of giving the Learning Tree a hard time. Big Bill and Brian Keith telling them they're not doing enough work or not doing a good enough job. And then he talks about Gravity's mask. So how it was stolen from him. So y'all think about what did y'all think about that?
I thought it was. I thought that portion of it was okay. To me, it felt like there was like Jericho might be starting to put some distance between him and Big Bill and the Bad Apple, so that like when it is time for them to break off and do their thing, whether it be tag team or singles or whatever it is,
Yeah.
that he's also working this angle over here with um
Bandito and
Bandito, yeah, and all those guys. So I don't know, space that. Sorry.
that's cool.
So there's a couple things moving around right there. So if it wouldn't surprise me if Big Bill and the Bad Apple kind of split off to do their own tag team thing, and Jericho split off to do his own little thing. I mean, they've been riding together for a while, so and the fans
Yeah.
seem to like Bill.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that Jericho did. I mean, and remember, I'm never. I say this all the time. I'm not one of those guys that's ever gonna hate Chris Jericho. I'm not going to tell him
I've
to.
liked him for too long. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm never gonna tell him when to retire. I'm not gonna run him out of the arena. This is like all like ridiculous to me. Um, but as far as the group, he rubbed off on them perfectly, and I don't think he could do more for them.
Yeah,
I think the
Right.
fans want Big Bill, and I think the Bad Apples. I mean,
They're both ready to
yeah,
go
they
on their own.
yeah,
that's what I mean. So I don't know, anything from this point might be downhill. Not on Jericho, like nothing against him, but anything from this point might be downhill. Um, and you know that realistically, it, they just ran down on the Hurt Syndicate. I don't see this going well
Yeah.
for them. So
Probably not.
I'm yeah, I'm assuming that they know this, and it's probably gonna lead to some sort of split. I also wouldn't underestimate one of the two turning on the other, and maybe Big Bill going solo. Like
yeah.
I feel like there's a few things that they could do there. But it's ran its course, and I mean shout out to Jericho again. I mean people hate him and want him to run away, but I mean how much would
Uh,
you really want Big Bill or Brian Keith right now if it wasn't fan?
I
Like
say give Chris another group. Let him have at
yeah,
it
like,
again.
yeah, let him build
Something
somebody
different.
else up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, give him another batch of young people. Um,
Didn't he
or
say something on the Collision promo like you guys need to appreciate me while you had me or something like
yeah,
that?
he
Did he?
did.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
he did.
so.
yeah. People. It's the truth. People ain't gonna appreciate Chris Jericho till he's gone.
Right.
Yeah,
We're in an era, and this isn't knocking no company. I'm just saying nostalgia in general. This has nothing to do with like one logo or thing, just companies. Legendary wrestlers showing up is praised all the time,
yeah,
like
right.
everywhere, right? Jericho isn't washed. Like we're in an era where if a dude pops up for nostalgia move and can't do much, we still praise the shit out of it. And I'm one of those people. Like I want to see these dudes if they feel like they could still do it. Jericho could still go. Like he still has value. And not even just in the ring, just like knowledge and what he could teach people and him,
Promo, yeah,
yeah, like
all that.
promo, him being around, the name, it still holds weight for I'm sure when you go negotiating things like that, regardless. So it's like people are so quick to push legends out, but share other ones. It's like don't pick and choose. Just let the legends be the legends.
Right.
When they're ready to go, they go. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to decide. They worked hard for this. To you can give your opinions, of course, but to think you could run people out of wrestling when they still have value is just stupid to me. I don't agree with that. What are your thoughts?
Go ahead, too.
No, I agree with you and everything. Jericho's a legend. I mean, he's been around. He's wrestled since even before I was watching, so he was already wrestling when I started watching, which I think was like '97 or '98. But he was in WCW still, and
I ain't,
he's
Yeah.
just been around forever,
I
man.
ain't
And
That's the Chris Jericho I started watching. Lion
yeah,
Tamer Chris Jericho.
exactly.
mad.
Yeah, him and Eddie Guerrero had some good
Oh,
matches, and
yes.
some other people. But
How
no,
many
Chris
how many
Jericho has.
other guys? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, Chris Jericho deserves everything.
He does.
He's worked hard for it. So,
Yeah.
Let's give him
and
his
I
flowers
appreciate
right
what
now.
he's doing for AEW. So, yeah.
Yeah, give
So
him
go
put,
ahead, runner.
put some flowers out, runner. Let's give
I
Jericho
was
his
just
flowers
I
with
was
no.
just gonna say, if you look at his career, like how many people have been able to reinvent themselves like he has over the course of 20 plus years
Not many.
Yeah,
and get over every damn time. It's not everybody can do that. They'll reinvent themselves and come back out, and it might not work out for them
Yeah,
for
right.
they
that particular run or
they
whatever. It might
reinvent
not have as
themselves
much
But Chris
pop.
because things
Jericho
don't
does it.
work. They
Yeah,
reinvent themselves because things don't work. Everything
Exactly.
he reinvents does work.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
because it's worked for so long, it's starting to get stale. We want something else, and then the next thing you
yeah,
know, he's got an LED jacket or a list or God knows whatever else, but it
yeah.
works.
The list. I remember that.
Yeah, the
That
list
was
was
some good
crazy.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's done
Stupid
so
idiot.
much in the industry. Let him enjoy himself. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I don't know, man. Jericho, we'll be one of the. I mean, I know there's other ones out there, but we got first of all, we got 105 people watching right now. Shout out
Awesome.
to all of you guys.
Welcome.
Yeah, we appreciate every one of y'all. I know probably a bunch of y'all mad at this Jericho talk, but we're gonna give Chris Jericho his flowers. He deserves it.
Yeah.
We're not them guys. So I
No.
mean, yeah, not no Chris Jericho hate on the Elite Mob podcast. But you could go forward whenever you want. One thing I do want to say about the actual Bandito. Um, what do you seen the stipulation they're going with, right?
hmm
I guess I didn't catch it.
All
What
right,
was it?
so Jericho, well, Jericho, the match was happening, Jericho and Bandito. But Jericho offered something versus Bandito's mask. So I think it was maybe even it was something title versus mask, maybe. If
Oh, okay.
I'm
It
not
wasn't
mistaken.
hair though. No hair.
No, and I would have
No.
liked to see the hair. Jericho shave his head. He's
Jericho
he's for
bald.
he's for shenanigans. But nah, it's
Yeah.
title. it's title verse. I got the notes right here. My bad for the delay right there, but it's title verse mask. So either
Yeah.
Bandito's gonna get their ROH title, which we talked about in another episode. I think they should give it to him and brand that brand around him. And
Right.
he's been a previous champion over there, anyways. But yeah, title versus mask. How do you guys see that going? Before we go to the next,
I
Hmm.
don't think Bandito gets rid of his mask, so I think maybe Chris Jericho's finally gonna drop the title. So that'd be my prediction for it. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Looking at what I'm looking at here, I would say that maybe so. That's a good possibility.
I would say 90-10, and typically I wouldn't even go 10. The reason why I'm gonna throw the 10 up there for two reasons. Um, and one of them I may just be late on. The other one is just kind of like a dot throw, right?
right.
First thing, Bandito's English has gotten way better, right? Like he's talking full English right now, right? So I know that there was probably a lot of things going on behind him. So it's something about when some of these, a lot of those luchadors, when they get comfortable with the language, like Roosh, some of them they'll drop the mask because they're comfortable now, right? So the fact that Bandito's talking fluid right now, like he's dropping full English promos, right? He also changed his mask and shaved the side of his head.
Hmm.
So if you look, his hair's shaved. So he has a different look under that mask. So I'm gonna just give a 10% chance that he might be ready to drop it. And that might be why they took his brothers off. Maybe he's ready to drop the mask. So
That's
10
yeah.
10%.
Sounds like either way it goes, it's a win-win for sure.
Oh, it's a
Like,
win-win. Bandito's gonna get a, no matter how this goes, he's getting a boost.
For
right.
what it's worth, I'm looking at the Fozzy 2025 tour that
Yeah.
kicks off
Uh-oh.
soon. And
Oh, there you go. You got the inside info.
Dang.
I mean, it's Google. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
just
right.
I
Listen,
googled it, but
homework.
it kicks off in April, so it
Okay,
wouldn't
maybe
be
he drops the title.
surprising if he did drop it. You know what I mean? And I'm not
Right.
trying to throw spoilers out there, but I'm trying to be realistic here.
Yeah.
Maybe
I th-
that's
yeah.
that's why they build this up so much with the mask and
Yeah,
everything from Gravity. So
Yeah.
I
I
can see
think
that.
I think Bandito takes that belt and he runs. He's the face of that company to try to get them to wherever Tony thinks they're gonna go, whether it's TV deal, Max streaming, whether it's
Yeah.
keep pushing it on. I think he's gonna end up being the face. Um, I feel like he's brought since Bandito has arrived in AEW, probably since day one, he's been over, and
Yeah.
it's only got it like his
yeah.
buzz and everything's only got bigger. And then they threw the vignettes, and he just has the look. He has everything there for you to push him. I'm not gonna say he's the number one luchador in the world. That's like kind of a
Yeah.
crazy thing to say, but you
That's
can
a hot
push.
take.
Yeah, but you can push him like he is. Like if Tony
Right.
wants to make him the number one guy in his company, he can. Same way, like if another company wants to take another luchador that's crazy, you know, and make him, the number one guy, you can. You feel
Right.
me? But I think he'll be the guy. He's gonna walk away with the belt. But 10%, I do think there's a small chance that he throws the mask away.
Always leave a percentage, man, no
Yeah.
matter what.
10% is kind of high too, I think.
I
But
guess.
I think there's probably around that percentage that he's maybe ready to move on and take another step. But next, King Took, slide on. What you got next for us?
Cool. Yeah. MJF promo. He goes out to the ring, calls MVP to confront him or to talk to him. And what do y'all think about that with the Bobby Lashley coming up and ripping the card in front of MJF's face and basically saying, no, we're good?
Makes sense for later on when we got that other segment, because it just kind of built on the story that they're developing there. I personally kind of want to see MJF in there. You know what I mean? It seems like it
Yeah,
kind of fits his
it would be.
his character a little bit, but at the same time, like MVP needs to understand who he's working with. You know what I mean? MJF will double cross him.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, eventually, yeah.
Um, I like the promo how they worked it in, how they basically Fripp told you that they don't if it was going down when they was kind of acting like it was gonna happen, it had nothing to do with friendship. It was like you ain't looking for friends, I'm not looking for friends. Like the business relationship that's kinda outside of the Adam Cole, that's kind of what MJF's already kind of did, like paid henchmen and had little business relationships and things like that. Anytime, remember when he was sending like, you gotta fight 3 people to fight me. It was
Yeah.
never really like friendships. It was always like kind of business things. So that makes sense. Um, but I want to see where it goes. But the main things I really took from it is these are two of the best wordsmiths on the microphone. Like they're both ridiculous on the microphone. Like
Yeah.
MJF, I think somehow has got to a point where um he somehow got underrated to what he can do on the microphone. Um, and MVP maybe just don't get the credit he deserves. He's a
Mm.
lunatic on that microphone. You could see he improvises stuff. You could see
Yeah, real
you
quick
could see
too.
when he improvises. You could
Yeah.
hear it.
It took very little effort for him to make the crowd pop with that Big Bill segment tonight.
Yeah, it's
Oh
simple. You
yeah,
could see
Very little
that was
effort.
good too.
you could tell he's improvising some of that stuff. You could just see it. It's like
Right.
Just right off the
they
bat of
say.
his head too, man. He was quick with it.
Yeah, there's no way that was like you had that written. You know what I'm saying? It's like he worked it to
Mm.
the point where it has to be like natural. Like he's just naturally charismatic on the microphone. Um, him and
Yep.
MJF actually is two great people to actually have backstage around each other to be like sending ideas back and forth against each other because it's like, oh my god. That's really the main thing I took from it is like I was in more awe of the promo work that was going on. I do want to see where the story goes. Definitely, I mean, I'm interested whether it's MJF versus Benjamin, then Lashley, or maybe even one on one versus all 3 of them, or maybe bringing in a team to
Yeah, I've seen
them.
that too. The
Yeah,
rumors.
there's
Yeah.
possibility. But I want to see where it goes. But the main thing I got out of that promo was nuts. I
It
like
was
it from
good.
both angles, both of them.
I was impressed with Big Bill too. I think he had some improvised too, just right
Yes,
off the bat, or he
he
tried.
did. Big
Yeah.
Bro's mic game has got he's I remember you remember like just remember before, right? There was his partner was amazing on the microphone. Still is.
Oh yeah. Enzo.
Wherever he's at. Yeah, Enzo. I would love to see them together again, but right now, that would definitely take Bill down a notch because he's on a level with the promo work that before it seemed like he just wasn't comfortable with. Right now he's crazy. Like give him the microphone, push him as a single star. And he definitely improvised a few times as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that whole thing with MVP at first. So when I was saying earlier, some things stood out to me. When he started that little mic battle with MVP earlier, in the very beginning of it, he seemed kind of rocky, especially when MVP was like called him somebody's bitch or something,
Yeah.
called him Jericho's bitch.
Yeah.
I think that
Mm.
kind of threw him for a second, and it took him, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds to get his footing back in that promo. But once he did, he was right back on it.
Yeah.
He didn't get back in his head and start thinking about it. He just stayed, moving forward.
I
So
think that
yeah,
comes
I thought
down
that
to
was awesome.
not remembering your lines and actually just being able to be you.
Yeah, just being you.
Yeah. He's a New
Uh,
Yorker.
Mm.
It almost works better for him in that instance. Like, yeah, maybe he does need a couple pointers for the line's sake, for the
Course.
story's sake, but at the same time, like, hey, you seem to do better just kind of freestyling out there a little bit. Like, here's the pointers, like, you go with it, see what happens.
think they could go. It could go. I think it goes both ways. Some of these people are better natural than reading, and some of them is probably a little bit better reading than natural.
And
Yeah.
going on the fly. Yeah.
Yeah, like, but you could some of these guys, their improvised game, you could see it's like you can't write improvise. Improvise will always sound better, always, because
Mm,
someone says something, you jump on it quick and you
for
rebuttal
real.
it quick.
Yeah.
It's always gonna hit different.
Yep. Well, speaking of Big Bill, him and Brian Keith came out to the stage right after, and uh, right after that promo, they challenged for the World Tag Team Championship. So I think we're probably getting that at Dynasty, I bet. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And they told them to what, like win a match or something.
Yeah. What a
yeah,
match.
something like that. But Big Bill's whole thing was he never got his rematch for losing them, but his old partner's not there anymore. So that's he
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that. So
Said his old partner got pinned, right?
yeah, dirty.
I mean, to be fair, his old partner just threw a jab this week, so
Oh,
I
did
mean,
he? What'd he
yeah, he
say?
threw it actually 2 weeks in a row, he threw a jab, so it took
Damn.
2 weeks in a row, he threw a jab, and now his partner threw a jab back. So, not
It
personally
was
at him,
deserved, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
not personally at Bill, but, you know, you're jabbing where Bill's at,
Yeah.
so it's only right, I guess, Bill let you know that he's not a champion no more because of you.
Yeah. Cause
So,
yeah, let them know you're still here too.
yeah, you feel me?
All right. Kyle Fletcher versus Brody King match.
Oh,
Let's go.
yes.
Um, did you see the outside spot? Kyle Fletcher laying on his back, and somebody had clipped that picture and posted on Twitter saying something. I
Yeah, sleep
forgot. I don't have it
something
on.
knocked out, or it was something. I seen it too. I forgot what
When
the
you're drunk and knocked out or something like
that's what
that.
it
I was
said.
like,
Yeah,
yeah. I thought that was hilarious. But overall, the match was pretty good. That what do you call that move that he did on the corner where he dropped Brody King on the top rope with
yeah. The
like
one he
his
uses
head?
for finishes sometimes it's like the
Yeah,
turnbuckle
Oh
brainbuster.
yeah, where he drops him on
yeah,
the back of the yeah.
yeah. He did that on the top rope, and I was like, "Holy crap!" First, I thought it was maybe like a botch, but no, it wasn't. But
Nah, he does it. He does that. If you go
yeah,
back and look at the one he hit, who did he hit with one? I think it might have. It was Osprey. He hit
no,
with a
Osprey. Yeah,
vicious one like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the Osprey one was nasty.
Yeah, he's like, I thought, yo, yeah, I thought it was like a botch, but nah, it's like, look, he must hit it technical. Those
Hey,
And I
was
hadn't seen
I
one
ain't
like
think of that
that
move.
in a long time. So when I first
yeah,
saw it, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like
yeah.
I had forgotten about that.
And because
Is
Brody
Brody
was like
okay? Yeah,
Brody more like broke down, you know what I'm saying? Versus
mm,
like mostly they have like their legs up, so you see it's like the turnbuckle brainbuster. Brody kind of like, you know, was in more like the fetal position, so it kind of just looked like I don't know, it looked risky.
There was a couple bumps Brody took tonight that I was like, "Oh shit, that might have knocked the wind out of him." You know what I mean?
Brody's a big boy.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris? We see you in the chat.
is there some chats going on?
Not yet. There's just a
Not yet.
couple of people jumped in, said what's up, but we do got 150 people watching us.
Can we
Oh
point
wow.
out how Brody King dove out of the ring through that second rope and Fletcher just kind of shoved him off to the side?
Yeah.
But then later when Fletcher did it, Brody went back hard into that barricade. That's when I was like, "Oh shit, he done knocked his breath out."
Yo,
Yeah.
listen, bro, I don't think Brody realizes how big he is.
No.
Like
Right.
that's just what
Fletcher looked like he was ready for it though.
yo, nah, but see, Fletcher's a big boy. Like, he's another one that's like, yo, he done grew up over our eyes in like a 6-month period.
Yeah. He
Like,
done put on some weight in the last 6 to 8
yeah,
months.
he's
Yeah.
Telling you, he's the next
everything.
Orton, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
He,
Yes.
he's putting on
yeah,
that weight too, and
listen.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what. That's why I said I know. Like in the beginning, I was like, damn. I hope their tag team get back together. But after like the first month, I was like, oh, you can't put them back together. There's nothing you could do here. Like if you put them back together, you're losing. You know,
Yeah.
like Fletcher's an absolute superstar. You could do the
Yeah.
only way he
Oh,
fails is if you fail him. That's it.
yeah. He's makes a good heel too. He's a really
Oh
good
yeah.
heel. Yeah. I
Right?
like him and Osprey going back at it. over and over again. I
That's
think they need to keep that going.
that's
So
like that could go on for 10 years off and
I
on.
think
yeah,
that's that Swerve Hangman sort of feud right there that
kind
you
of
can just
that
milk
rivalry.
over time, you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. You could leave it and come back to it anytime you want.
Yeah.
So at the end of the match, Kyle and Mark Davis are ganging up on Brody King, and a powerhouse Hobb comes out and breaks it up, and of course they run away. Kyle and Mark Davis do. So it was, I guess they were building up. Well, that was the build up to the match because the match happened right after.
Which I like the fact that once again keeping Hobbs on TV, keeping Davis on TV. I like it.
It was a good idea.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now that match, Mark Davis versus Powerhouse Hobbs, it was okay. It was kind of hectic there at the beginning, and then it seemed like a shorter match though.
Yeah.
I think they should get another match in sometime soon.
Yeah.
Uh, Carry it out a little bit. But what do y'all think about it?
I think every time Powerhouse Hobbs music hits, I get like those Avengers vibes, you know, and like you're
Oh yeah,
screwed now, you know what I mean? Like he's
yeah.
about to
Yeah.
come out and wreck everybody.
I mean,
Thank
you're
but
you.
right.
Oh, yeah.
um yeah, it was kind of a quick match. I didn't expect it to go that fast, but I don't know if it was because like something else ran long earlier in the night or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. The main event seemed a little short too. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
They had a bunch on this card. They
They
had a
It was a
lot.
busy night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did kind of rush the match a little bit because before I looked down and looked up and it was over. It was like a glorified squash match in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah. Pretty
And
yeah.
much.
I expected it to be a little bit more, but
yeah,
yeah, it is what
especially
it
with
is.
how Davis was like he's the past few times he's looked good
Yeah.
and strong. Um, the one thing I mean I will say just that if there's something I could throw in there to maybe give a reason potentially. Um, that could be why all that the chaotic stuff happened in the beginning, so they could kind of just find a way to just get through the match. Um, but in those type of instances, especially for like Mark Davis's sake, I'd prefer to not do that match or just have him squash somebody else personally. But I do get um the the value of having them all on TV and keeping
Oh
them,
yeah.
so I guess there's a benefit in even defeat there. So
Do you recall hearing Tony Schiavone say anything like when Hobbs music hit? And they were like, "Well, this wasn't supposed to happen now, or not yet, or something like
yeah, I
that."
did hear him say that.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. So
Like a
maybe
mistake.
Hobbs did get pushed out a little early or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like
Maybe.
that's what I mean. It just seemed like it was maybe something ran longer than expected,
Yeah.
and which caused them to maybe adjust, or maybe they just wanted to add something and they needed to shave a couple of minutes.
It could have
Because
been
I
it.
know that I feel like there was a lot of segments, there was a lot of stuff going on, um, and I know that the main event ran over like 4 or 5 minutes, which ain't a big deal. But maybe on the course they was going, maybe it was gonna be like a 10-minute run over, and they had to shorten something. But
Yeah.
it seemed like something happened there, or it just seemed a little bit rushed. Especially how Mark Davis been looking good. I don't think he
Yeah.
should have lost anything that fast. We do have one question in the chat. Can you see it, Took? Or one comment on first the Blake and Omega match. Can you hear him right now? Is it just me or is he muted?
I
Check
can't
it.
hear him.
Yeah, check it. I can't hear you.
Mm.
There you go. I just no.
I heard it click.
Yeah, press it again. You heard it. Yeah. See, I heard
Yeah, I
it.
hear it clicking, but I
Hello.
don't hear anything.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear you now.
yeah,
Yeah, I
there
can
you
hear you
go.
now, bro.
Okay. All right. Christopher Jackson Denver says Blake versus Omega was fine, should have been longer, and Mark Davis versus Will Hobbs in top flight tag match. Everything else was fun. And then he just said, "Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, Chris?"
What's up, bro?
Yeah. So, no, we agree. Some of the stuff was cut short tonight. I think they just had too much going on.
Yeah.
They had a lot to get to.
Yeah.
So,
Something through. I'm just gonna take a guess. Something through a couple of minutes here or there off, and it caused them to do things, or maybe they just put too much on the show and they just caused them to do too much. Kind of force
How
it.
cut
long?
it.
How long was the Fletcher match?
out.
Good 10 minutes at least.
You
At
see,
least
I
10 minutes?
had
That's
some
what I
good
felt
time.
like.
It had good time to that match.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
think it ran
that one
long.
went a little bit longer than it
Oh,
should
it
have.
didn't.
Yeah,
It
maybe
didn't.
it
It
went
didn't. It
long.
wasn't like it ran
Oh
no.
no.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't long, but maybe
remember,
just
remember, they do draws. Like, so it's not necessarily that any match that didn't go to a draw for them ain't necessarily long. Yeah, so
no.
I would say even if they did a 15-minute match, that's like at a point kind of typical for that type of match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's a match that either one could win. I feel like maybe I knew who was gonna win, but I feel like it could have went either way. And those are usually the matches that they usually give 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Then we had the Nick Wayne promo backstage.
You called it.
Yeah, I know, man. I was like last week. I was like push him, and that's who I want to see pushed, and they're pushing him this week. So I was really excited to see that myself.
Yeah.
Um, he's getting better on the mic. I can tell he's getting more comfortable.
Yep.
A little bit more work to do, but he's getting there. He's so young, so he's got plenty of time. So
Yeah.
then he was his whole thing was, see, when we have a plan and we actually all follow through with it, it works out. Because the
Chance.
interview, yeah, asked about why he confronted Christian the way he did, stuff. So, what y'all think about it? Anything?
I'm still waiting to see where it fleshes out and see what happens. Like I'm excited to see what's going on with it, but there's so many other things happening right now that's got my interest that
Yeah,
like I'm interested, like it's piqued my interest, you know what I mean? But at the same time,
there's so
I
much
just
else
kind of want
going
to see
on.
where it's going, yeah,
Yeah,
before I get like super invested in it or not. But it's
true.
cool. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, me too.
Without say same thing right now. I want to see where it goes. The things I will say is, I mean, I remember I think they signed him when he was like 16 and he had to wait for like a couple of years.
Mhm.
I mean, I know he's a special talent. He kind of, like I said, I think I told you this before. Kind of reminds me of Will Ospreay before he put the weight on. Like they kind
Yeah,
of like move,
kind of. Yeah,
move similar in the ring. So I do think he has big potential. I do see the confidence that you're talking about. Um, as far as like when he's speaking, um, I just hope they don't rush nothing with him. Like
nah.
that's
Yeah,
the
right.
only one thing I would say. Like just don't rush nothing with him because he's it's kind of like a few of their talents, like the younger talents. I just feel like they rushed them too fast because they thought people was maybe wanted them to, or they didn't want certain backlashes. And I think a few of them young talents, and a few of them not on TV right now, um, got put in bad positions because of that. It's like, look, don't rush any of these young talents because you think somebody wants you to rush them. It's not worth
Nah,
it because you're
don't rush it.
jeopardizing them.
Just
You know what I'm saying?
just build it. It can be slowly,
Just build it.
Yeah.
But you got ton of belts, you got ton of TV shows. Um, I mean, and you got a whole bunch. You got the ability to send talent to other companies all over the world and build them up. You don't need to
Right.
rush anything.
I could see him going to New Japan
Mexico, New Japan,
next week. Yeah. Yeah.
is when you can do that. It's like look what Megan Bain did, and now what she came back as. You see what I'm saying?
And she's
So this
awesome.
is what I
Yeah.
mean. I can't say that. I remember there was the rumors AEW signed her Center on her excursion to Stardom, and then people's like, "Oh, that ain't true. She ain't signed this." So I don't know what is or isn't true. All I know is that Megan Bain came to AEW, right? Wrestled a couple of matches. I think like lost on AEW Doc and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken, right? Went
Hmm.
to Stardom, went to New Japan, came back a
She
superstar.
built up.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's like kind of the build up you should be doing for the young talents. Not losing and then going. Just if you want to put them in a position, right? Take them, send them
Right.
around the world, let them learn different styles, build them up, and bring them back, and just send them on a tear. But do it when they're ready. Don't send them on a crash course where something happens too early and now they actually end up getting set back because of it. That'd be all I say about that.
Yep. Um, Move on to Hangman Page backstage, and then getting interrupted immediately by Swerve Strickland, and I thought they were about to go at it. I was like,
And
"Holy
then he
hey,
just walks
the rivalry's
up.
back!"
How bad you have to hate somebody to come completely across the room to an interview that you have nothing to do with just to say I hate you and you're not getting my damn title that I don't have anyway,
And then leave.
and then leave.
That's what makes us great. This is
I
the
love that
feud.
Yeah. Hangman was like,
This is
"Bitch,
the best
just
feud.
Yeah.
get your ass out of here. It has nothing to
Yeah,
do with you."
yeah.
That's just one of those
I
one of
thought,
those wars. It's like, look, we go war forever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anything you
yeah,
just see each other, it's on site. You know, that's
Yeah,
great.
I love it.
I thought he was
Yes,
great.
Man, they're two of the best doing it with promos right now. Renee, for some reason, Renee's interviews are just always better. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
She's good
she
at it.
is.
Yeah,
She's really
like
good
She's
at
she
her
good
just
at it.
job.
kind of like knows how to present the interviews, what to say, the facial expressions to make. She makes the interviews. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, um, then we had another backstage interview. Tony Schiavone interviews Rated FTR, and Dax kind of apologizes, kind of explains why he left the way he did last week, and now they're going for the trios titles. So that's going to be interesting. So
What do you think, Rena?
Um, I think the trios titles need a little bit more respect than they've been given lately. And what I mean by that is,
Yeah,
how many times have we seen them defended?
maybe
Once,
twice, maybe. I don't know.
twice?
Why?
twice,
What
I think,
collision we saw it the other night?
yeah. But just
Right.
recently,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think and I get it, there's only so much time, but I mean, if you're gonna dedicate 5 minutes to Powerhouse Hobbs spine buster and oh boy through the bottom of the ring, you know what I mean? Let's give him 6 7 minutes to throw on a trios match or something. I don't know, but
Right?
I'd like to see something happen with it.
I
Yeah,
agree.
for sure.
I That's kind of what I said. Y'all probably seen in the group chat earlier. Say, look it right. You have all right. So you have whatever amount of hours you have, right? I'm not gonna be the guy breaking down exact hours. You feel me? You have your hours. You have your whatever amount of belts you have, right? This is one of the things that I have. It's like just for business purposes, Cope and FTI look. I mean, is look like the better choice to be holding the belts. Like,
Oh, for
for
sure.
just business purposes, before I even think anything further, just for business purposes alone, they
Yes.
definitely probably would be the better thing. Second thing is where you have a limited amount of TV time, you have, I mean, I ain't gonna say limited amount of belts. I feel like there's a lot of belts, but you have your amount of belts. These are the type of people that those belts are for. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that they always gotta have them. But I mean, these belts been sitting in obscurity for like a year now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
No,
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, but
no, yeah,
No, go ahead.
something to add to that point before I forget. We're seeing Yuta and Claudio and all those dudes a lot as it is. Why are we seeing them in trios matches as well? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, they
They
don't need
they
them really. They don't really
they
need those
literally
belts. Yeah,
for
I
a lot
agree.
of this run, and this isn't a because I think Pac, Claudio, even Yuta, I think he's way out of place and he doesn't like fit. But I think they're all good wrestlers. But the thing is, for the past year, like even like Marina, um, we got her and the Willow thing. They're teasing it. I'm sure we'll get the match, and I'm sure there's like maybe training and other things that's going on there behind the scenes where why Mark's kind of took under the wing. But it's like your group hasn't wrestled much. They're like interference lackeys. They just interfere.
You're right.
That's all they
Yeah,
do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
and they're
and
being shown
that's
on
why it
TV.
gets like aggravating. Even when you say all your guys are gone, they find a way to come back and all interfere. Not one, they're all there every time. So
Yeah,
Right.
that was kind of
that's like that's
that threw
yeah,
me
it's
off.
like
Yeah,
so with that being said, it's not really like even a knock on Mox. I'm starting to realize it's like what's going on around him. That's watering down this title run. Like, cause Mox's promos are still popping. He's still doing his thing in the ring. Um, Showing the belt or not showing the belt don't matter. I think people's just getting sick with the interference. It's like it's getting like repetitive at this point.
I kind of miss the belt, to be honest.
Yeah, I want to see the Triple B myself.
I
You know,
do. And when I saw him standing in there with Swerve tonight, I was like, give that man his belt back. You know what
I,
I mean?
I want to see Mark Snap just pop the briefcase and pull the belt out on somebody. That's what just do it.
show it.
You know, like when they was all gone, that was the perfect time for him to come out at that pay-per-view, pull the belt out and beat Cope clean with the belt
Yeah.
over his head.
Yeah,
I
this
think
should
that's what
happen.
Mark should have did. Like we because we're getting to a point where it's like, yeah, I hope you ain't really trying to make me believe that he needs the help because we know he don't. You know, it's like he shouldn't need the help to win every time. That's like a
Mm-mm.
little ridiculous, if you ask me.
And speaking of that, yeah, next was Swerve calling out John Moxley to the ring, and John answers, comes out. What did Swerve say? Something like, you're too scared to see yourself as a champion. That's why you hide it away in the briefcase.
He had a couple good lines in that promo.
Yeah, he did. Swerve ain't
Hmm.
playing around, man.
He's
Mm,
stepped up his mic game.
so,
A few of these guys
yeah,
that was people swore wasn't like top tier on the microphone. Since they got to do their own thing, have shut a lot of people up. Swerve being one of those main guys in particular.
Yeah. I want to see Swerve with that title so bad. I was talking to my wife about it earlier, and I want to see Swerve winning that dynasty. And I want to see I'm gonna be in Texas, so I want to see Osprey and Swerve at All In. I don't know why, but there's something about it that just sounds
yeah, that'd
good
be
to
cool.
me. You know what I mean? But then I have so many like dreams about All In.
Yeah,
They
I
they're,
was
already.
what you want to see? It
Dang.
changes every 5 minutes. I want to see that. I want to see that.
they're loading up the Owen too.
Yeah.
They're loading
Yeah,
up, so it's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
like Jay White could pop out,
I wouldn't,
Osprey could pop out. I think go
I'm
ahead.
s- I'm thinking they're gonna have like a multi-man match or something almost.
they'd have to.
I'm waiting for
But
them to
we'll
do like
see.
a
We'll see what
6-man ladder
happens.
match or something. Like I feel like
That'd be
there's like
sick.
a bunch of matches like AEW is like avoiding. I don't know if they just maybe they just kind of just want to avoid things, but there's so many stipulation matches that I feel like they're just like haven't done. They're like I don't
Yeah.
know what the reasoning would be there, but I mean you would think they would want to have like some of those old school like TNA type matches where you got like 8 men in the ring, a couple of
You're
ladders.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at your
Yeah,
talent. Like,
I think they should. Yeah, I think they should bring blood and guts match out every once in a while too, not just the once a
yeah,
year thing. I think it would be cool if they brought it out every now and then for like a big
yeah,
championship match, like a big 6-man
yeah. Like
stipulation or something.
they
I think it'd
need.
be
I
cool.
think they need to. I know it's kind of hard, but I mean, they gotta find their way to create like at least like 3 to 5 of their own like trademark matches.
Yeah.
Like whether
Right.
whether it means taking like a couple
The
different matches.
Casino Gauntlet match is perfect. I love that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Casino Gauntlet, and they have like a battle
yeah,
royale
you know,
too.
they have a
Forgot
few
what it
of
was
them, but I
called.
mean mainly like for like just like big one-on-one or triple threat matches.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like their own style of stipulations or something. Like that way it's just not always regular matches or doing something that somebody else did. Like they need to, tell somebody go sit down, lock yourself in the room for like 2 days. Don't come out till you have 10 new stipulations that I could look through, and I'm gonna take 2 of them. Mm,
Well,
Yeah.
who do you think's getting
Yeah.
the Texas Death Match at All In? Because we're getting one, right? Why wouldn't we? It makes perfect sense.
I hope we do. That would,
Right, yeah,
right.
because it's been brought up a few times, right?
Probably
I,
probably Hangman and MJF. I think. I don't know, but now they're building MJF with
yeah, I
Hurt
don't know.
Syndicate. So,
Well,
but
I I
yeah,
want to
we'll
say
see. I
Hangman's
guess.
got to be a part of it.
You would it would only
Yeah.
feel
Just don't know
natural,
against
right?
who yet.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we gotta have a Texas Death
any
Match at
Texas
All
that's
In.
Christopher
Texas.
Daniels, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Lester.
he's gonna. I don't know. I feel like Hangman's gonna flip his character at some point. I don't know why I think that, but I feel like
Hmm.
a Hangman's like a roller coaster. Like
Yeah.
he's like he's gonna come out the other end of this like maybe a whole different person for some reason. That's just
Yeah,
like kind of what I'm
maybe
thinking.
maybe a more mellow or chilled out version
Maybe.
of him.
Maybe a more wild version.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can handle
Like
Yeah.
that.
Go crazy
the thing
mode.
with
Yeah.
me and this not that I won't detour too quick, but one of the main things that and I was joking and tagging AEW and Tony Khan with this for a while, like before, like kind of a joke, but kind of serious. You know what I'm saying? There was there was a point where there was like I want to say AEW had like 6 people running around with cowboy hats, right? And not one of them was even Hangman Page, right? Which is the cowboy, which is hilarious. It was like you got so yeah, I'll give you an example. You had the bounty hunter when he first came.
Yeah.
You had
Oh
one
yeah.
of the Von Erichs, but both of them kind of fit that mold and their sign there.
Right.
You had there's another guy in Ring of Honor that he kind of has like a cult type gimmick. It's kind of like, but I forgot his name, but he wears a cowboy hat too. And there was like one more person, but it got to a point where it was like, yo, you should have just gave him like his own Wild Wild West stable where like he's always falling out,
That would have been
and
cool.
they gotta calm him down. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's
Right.
like too many cowboys running around. They should be like, you can have 20 cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Well,
should be with the cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
didn't Jay White say
Be
something like
some
that tonight? One
tombstone
of the
stuff.
Um,
original Collision Cowboys or something
yeah,
like that?
Jay White. Yeah,
Give him his
Yeah.
cowboy stable over there and
and
make his Collision Cowboys. That I
listen,
thought that would have been a great team name.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if you took Hangman and you gave him like, and he's just a wild cowboy, right? And his people try to keep him cordial, but he's just always
Just try to
rumbling.
keep him level
You
headed.
know what I'm saying? It's like
He's always going
yeah, you know what
crazy.
I'm saying?
Give
It's
him
like
Yeah.
some Negan type Walking Dead vibes and just let his people try to keep
Oh
him
yeah.
he's
grounded.
the
Like
hangman. It's like you gotta
That would be
convince him
cool.
not to hang people.
yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
I don't know if they can do that
Not,
on TV,
I
but
mean, technically they've already done it a few
But
times.
for the record,
oh,
if
I guess they
burning
have. Yeah.
Swerve's house down isn't crazy Hangman, what is crazy Hangman? You know what I mean? Like I don't know if any of us would be ready for
Yeah,
that
and
one.
that's why I feel like they
Yeah.
should have had like his own peer mediation group of cowboys to like just calm him down. You know, like yo,
Just
don't do it,
oh
hangman.
man.
You know, don't do it this time.
Don't do it.
Don't
Don't
burn
do
the house down.
it. Oh man.
But he deserves his own stable.
Yeah.
For sure. That'd be cool. I thought about that too a couple of times, like especially when seeing Bandito and
Yeah,
Brian Keith. I was
Yes,
like, yeah, they
same
could
thing.
do
a
like
Bandito
real
too.
a
Western vibe
stable.
with some
Yeah,
of them there, and it could be pretty
Yeah.
good.
man. Listen, that like man,
Right.
that's the same thing that you could Hangman, Bandito, and Brian Keith would be fire. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
just like you
Yeah.
gotta I feel like there's some of these opportunities is kind of right there, but it's up to creative. You gotta
yeah.
trigger. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
we'll give somebody some ideas. So
Hopefully we
You
do.
know what? My wife actually said something tonight. We're watching, and Marina Shafir comes out to intervene,
yeah.
and um, Willow shows up to like confront her, and my wife goes, "Hmm, why isn't old boy's wife out there?" Talking about Cope's wife. Why isn't Cope's wife showed up? And I said, "That's a
Yeah.
good question. That would have really brought some eyes or made some people talk about it or something like that. Could have been pretty
Yeah,
coul. You know what I mean?"
that would have
If
been.
I'm not mistaken too, wasn't there like something a while back where she might not like I think she might be if I think she might be able to show up in AEW.
I thought
'Cause I
somebody
remember
posted at the last pay per view and said she was backstage or something.
yeah,
Now that could have been hearsay. I don't know.
no, she was there for sure. She was there was a
Oh,
couple
okay.
of them was there. She was there. But the Samantha was there with her and a couple other people. There was all back there. But there was I think she had a Legends deal, which some I think some of their Legends deals prevent them
Mm,
from doing things.
that would make
Which
sense.
Rob Van Dam don't. Like he has a Legends deal even when he was on AEW TV, it didn't prevent they just couldn't um you can't sell merchandise of his, but using him isn't a problem. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Or you can't put him in video games or you nothing like that. But you
Yeah.
can, have him appear on the show. I think she flat out got out the deal because there was the
mm,
rumor going around with Shamra Sapp, and then before saying she's gonna eventually show up in AEW.
Mm,
There's really no reason for her to have got out that deal. So I would say that eventually we will see her pop up in AEW, even if it's for something short. But I believe we will.
yeah,
I'll do some
that'd
more
be
homework
cool.
and look into that a little bit more too. But I'm pretty sure she's eligible to show up anytime she like.
that'd be cool. Sorry to throw us off topic there.
Yeah,
Oh
That's
no,
it's
that's
all
that's
good.
what we here for. They wanna
Heck
they
yeah,
wanna hear this stuff.
yeah. Um, but next was Jay White backstage promo, and he enters himself in the Owen Hart tournament, which we mentioned earlier. So, so yeah, that tournament's starting to get stacked, like
Yeah.
majorly.
He's doing what we
yeah,
was hoping he would did before. I want you to stack the Owen. What I don't know who's the guy to take the
exactly.
Right.
like who
Make it as
cares?
interesting as possible.
Yeah, like don't
Unpredictable.
be scared to make people lose. You know,
No,
it's wrestling. So load that
somebody's got to.
yeah, load
With a
that
roster like that, somebody has to.
yeah,
Right.
but I feel like that's part of the problem why a lot of matches we wanted we didn't get. Cause and
Nobody
not
wants to
saying
lose.
that some of these guys weren't trying to take the pin, but they might not been trying to take the pin, you know?
Right.
So the whole thing is I feel like a lot of these matches come down to even like when I wonder why hasn't Jay you did Forbidden Door, Jay White versus Finley. Neither one of them probably want to lose. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
So you gotta look at it in that situation like, yo, I already gave him Bullet Club. I left, I signed somewhere else, so he kicked me out. He took my team. Now I'm gonna go lose them. I'm not doing that. Just keep me off the card, you know? And then from the other side of it, it's like, say you're Finley. You're trying to give me the reign. Now you want me to go lose to the guy that left? So
Yeah.
there's certain things where I think that there's and not saying bad politics, just reasonable
Reasonable.
where it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense for either of these guys to go there and lose. So we'll avoid it. One time in the future, maybe it'll make sense and we'll do it. But if it don't make sense, it don't make
Yeah.
sense. You
Don't
know?
push it.
Yeah. But at the same time though, when you're talking about all AEW, like this is all AEW talent, not going out and fighting someone in CMLL or New Japan or wherever you're going, tell them they gotta lose.
Yeah.
Stack that Owen and tell them, look, I'm sorry, but you're losing today. You see what I'm saying? Because we need some of those matches where the match starts and you got, Jay White versus Osprey, and you genuinely don't know who's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Or you
Or you
got,
have a feeling that, Osprey might win, and then
yeah,
Jay White comes out with a dub, and you're like, oh, I
there
didn't
you
see
go.
that. Awesome.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's
I'm
exactly
not upset either one of them lost or won because I like both. But at the same time, if I didn't see it coming, I'm gonna be that much more excited about it.
exactly. Give
Yeah.
me like we're missing
Be a shocking
surprise.
moment, Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mm.
miss surprising in wrestling. I would
Yeah.
like them a
I
little
like
bit more frequently.
that's what makes wrestling too. Some of the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
surprises over the years and all
Well,
that.
the internet kind of kills that, but
Yeah.
anytime they could, I think I know who's gonna win, and you just straight pull the wool out from under me. I love that shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to know who's gonna win. I want to think I know who's gonna win, but I
Right.
like to be wrong once in a while.
Yeah. I like thinking I know what's going
Yeah.
on and then hit me with
But
that
I
swerve
really
so I
don't.
can be super pumped.
Yep. Exactly.
All right. After that, Top Flight beating some unknowns in a squash match.
Hey,
Uh,
local talents, man. They ain't unknowns. They local.
Local
Mhm.
talents. Yeah, we'll go with that. The better wording. Thank you. Yeah, some local talent. Uh, and then Leo Rush and Action Andrade did something. I think they're just on the sideline or something,
They've been like
just in the
stalking
crowd.
Top Flight, I think, for the most part.
Yeah,
But I mean, out of everything that's been going on and not like that level of things, I think they're my favorite. I think Andretti and Leo Rush could be big time.
oh, really?
I like their music. I think they got a good aura. I mean, like, t- um, I know Top Flight's probably more, probably like Tony's favorites because they've been there from the beginning.
Yeah, day ones.
Yeah, but I think Leo Rush and Andretti probably got definitely, if you talk about like charisma and stuff, they just kind of
Yeah,
come off as a bigger deal.
all right. So yeah, excited to see where that leads up to. You got any input on it, Runner?
Uh, when I think we as fans say, "Oh, it's a squash match," and we just kind of move on about it. But at the same time, like he was saying, local talent. I think as a whole, we have to understand like that's kind of some of these guys' moment to be on TV. And for us,
Yeah,
it's like we get to see this guy that we like squash whoever it is. They're not going to put them over in any way, really. But at the same time, we get to see people that wouldn't normally get TV time or get a match on TV. I think that's really cool that Tony does that a lot.
yeah,
And I think that doing that, we might see somebody in the future that we don't realize yet is going to be an AEW champion or a Ring of Honor champion or something like that. I think it's really cool.
Like I get
cool.
just that throwing a little tidbit right there. Um, we've seen. I mean, I've actually seen a lot of people that I'm actually big fans of in other promotions do squash matches in AEW, but I still enjoy them coming over. Like
Right.
Mm,
Bruce squashed Richard Holiday. That was one of the matches he supposedly got suspended on because, squashed them, was throwing whatever after the match. Now, it could be a work, could be a shoot, you know. But, I mean, Richard Holiday ain't really a squash wrestler, but sometimes, you getting that opportunity. He might, I mean, it doesn't look likely now with, rumors floating. But I mean, they could have just as easily brought in him, Hammerstone, and put them with MJF and brought back their group,
yeah,
and made him a big deal. So yeah, he's right. Sometimes it's like you got to come in and pay your dues, but it don't mean that a couple months from now you can't be a big deal.
right.
True.
Maybe next time I'll choose some different wording, but
Well, I
that's
wasn't
just
coming
kind of how
at
I
you.
knew
I
how to
wasn't coming
explain it.
at you. I
Uh,
thought of it in the grand scheme of
Yeah,
things.
no,
Because
the
I
first
mean, I'll
couple of
say it too. Like,
episodes,
oh, it's a squash match. Like, it's no big
first
deal.
couple of
But
episodes, I was calling them jobbies. So
yeah, see, I'll
right.
let
even
the
do the
rest
Let's
same
not
thing.
decide.
I'll
say
look up
that.
and go, oh, he's doing the job for him. But I'm just thinking on like the bigger picture sort of scale. It wasn't nothing
Yeah,
directed at you, took.
Oh
yeah.
no, no, I didn't take it that way. I was just saying maybe I should kind of reword it in a way because yeah, you were right in what you said. So Like they are local talent. That's their time to get on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, any one of us, if we were trying to break into the business, any one of us
yeah,
would be
give
happy
me
to get
2
that
Oh,
minutes
I,
on
time.
yeah,
You
TV.
know
I'll
what I
go
mean?
get squash right now. I'll do.
He said, "I'll go get squashed right now."
Yeah,
Hell
like,
yeah.
yo, what you gonna put me through the table? How much you paying me? Like,
Shit.
yo, let's go.
I
Like,
don't even
but
know if they would have to pay me, man, just to be on
Shit,
TV one
no.
time.
Shit,
Heck
I
no.
don't know. Right now, the way I feel, I might need to be paid to go through that table, especially if it don't break.
Yeah.
But
Oh
the
god.
one
Yeah.
thing I will say to just add on top of that, any of y'all local talents that ever want to jump on this podcast and put your 2 cents, stuff like that, let us know about what you got going on your grind. You're more than welcome. You know,
Yeah.
you got the ats on there at Took Timbo, at Mob Squad 508, and what is your at?
Frumpy Frohawk or something like that.
Yeah,
I would have to look
yeah,
at
I
it. I
know.
don't
I
know.
tried to pronounce it a few times.
Yeah, I don't.
It's on the link, so you be able
It's
to see
super old.
this. Well, any of us you reach out to, there's 170 people in there right now watching.
Awesome. Cool.
I'm pretty sure you could find a way to reach out to us.
Yep. For sure. So carrying on, Mark Briscoe versus Takeshita. Thought that match was pretty good, actually. That's probably one of my favorite matches so
Yeah.
far of
Was a good
the
match.
whole card. So, what'd y'all think about it?
This honestly, this will probably be my last little segment with you guys tonight. I have to go see the surgeon tomorrow and get this removed.
Okay. Good
That,
luck.
But the Briscoe things and the Briscoe and Takeshita thing, that's another one of those matches where it's like you have two really good guys who I like both of them. I don't know who's going to win, so it doesn't matter who wins to me because the match. I'm expecting a good match out of both of them because both of them can throw down bangers in a heartbeat. So that's one of those matches where I'm just appreciating the match for what it is. I don't really care who wins because, like I said, I like them both. They could both go over. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. I liked it.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably my match of the night. Kind of throw it out there now. Good match. Takeshita, I mean, either one of these guys, if you could tell me the last bad match either one of them put on, it'd probably take you a while. Um, Takeshita probably had more 4 to 5 star matches recently in the past year to two than he had bad matches.
Yeah.
Which
I don't think he's really ever had really many
yeah,
bad matches. So.
that's what I said. I don't.
Yeah.
If you really had to dig, you'd probably have to go back and find something because I think even when he was a kid, he was putting on bangers with Kenny Omega. So I mean, it's be difficult to find that. One thing that I would say about is I knew the outcome, but I also know that Briscoe wasn't gonna go down without a fight, and
Right.
I knew it'd be a good match. He's never a cakewalk. Um,
Was he yelling random gibberish throughout the match? Did you hear that shit?
yeah, he was yelling all
Like
day.
he would climb up on the top rope and just yell some wild shit, and
Yo,
it wouldn't even make any
yo,
sense. You
that
know what I
redneck
mean?
kung fu, he's just yelling all types
I
of shit.
love it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's a special talent, man. He's literally one of those talents you could do anything with. You could, he'll make anything work right
Yeah.
now. It it sucks that we never got to see, him and Jay together on TV. Well, on
Well,
AEW together.
yeah.
Obviously won't get into why and why not. But since he's came on there, I mean, that's the second time where I didn't know what he was gonna be able to do after that. I was honestly worried because that's one of my favorite tag teams all time, right? Um, he's took it up to another level. He's special.
Yeah.
Like
He
so,
is
He's
awesome.
shining
yeah,
right now, man.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
He's special. He got like both of them in him right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I see that.
yeah, so he's eh, praises to him. He's a strong spirit. You know what I'm saying? I love the match. My match of the night. I can't say anything bad about that match. I loved everything about it. Ain't much about
True.
with Mark Briscoe that I'm not gonna like. Oh,
Uh,
one
oh,
one thing
oh yeah, he had to leave.
jumped
Forgot
off.
about that.
One thing I do want to say, and he jumped off right before I said it too. Right? Remember he was talking about how Kyle O'Reilly was more fun with
With the conglomeration
but did you see how he's doing it now with you
with
seen it?
undisputed. Yeah,
You
still
seen
the
it, right?
same guy. Yeah,
Yeah, I think they noticed like don't get rid of that, right? Like continue doing that.
right.
Um but the match we can move past the Briscoe and Takeshita.
Yeah,
Briscoe's one of my favorites, so I'm
Kestra
not the same.
got the win. Then the main event was, of course, the tag match: Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford versus Thunderstorm, Thunder Rosa, and Tony
Yeah,
Storm. Uh, we mentioned it a little bit earlier. The match was kind of shortened uh, due to maybe the card just being overstacked. So, but I mean, I wasn't expecting Megan Bayne to lose. That I wasn't expecting them to lose.
me
So
neither. And
yeah,
I think honestly the time frame worked on this because it was all about keeping Megan strong.
right,
Um going into the match, obviously, to give you the belief. Not saying she can't win, but to give you the belief that she can win.
right,
Um, so I mean, I don't really think that match needed to go long. I think it also was good to keep like it's good to get for them to keep as many of the women on the TV as they can. Because
yeah,
I feel like sometimes they just maybe don't have enough time and they're trying to like squeeze things in there. So I don't mind the tag match and being able to showcase four ladies at the end, even though it's a little bit shorter. Because you get Penelope TV time, you got Thunder Rosa TV time, Tony obviously, and you kept Megan Bayne strong by getting the win.
right,
And having all four ladies get TV time. So I enjoyed the main event. I think it worked at the main event. I do also, like I said, I do think that either something was maybe rushed during the show or added
yeah,
in late or moved
maybe,
because
yeah,
something just seemed like a little thrown off. But all in out, I think it was a pretty good show. I gave the Takeshita and Briscoe my match of the night, but I definitely
yeah.
enjoyed the main event.
Me too. I enjoyed it too. But my match of the night was Mark Briscoe and Takeshita as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, it has to be one of the best wrestlers. Well, two of the best wrestlers, and one of them's fun. Just
Yeah,
super fun. You know what I'm saying?
right. No, for sure.
Dope,
Then
dope match.
yeah, and then Takeshita never really gives a bad performance at all. So
Yeah, he's
he's always pretty good.
I remember what was it like last year, he wasn't happy. He was like a little upset with what was going on with him. And
Mm,
I mean, I feel like they put him in sixth gear now. There's no way he's mad now. Yeah,
nah,
all over the world, I feel
every
like
show and
I
yeah.
feel like he's getting now what he thought he would get when he signed.
uh, I got one more chat here or two now. Um, Christopher Jackson, Denver says I think All In's going to be big good hit. Uh, and he says IMO. It's like, yeah, when we're talking about that, yeah, All In's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen.
I can't
We're
wait to
gonna try to
see.
get we're gonna try to get y'all some crazy content that night.
Yeah,
We'll
for
keep
sure.
y'all
We'll
updated on that
try to go live and or something. Then
for sure.
Cecily says those noise Mark Briscoe is that noise. Oh, the noises that Mark Briscoe is making is called Kai. It's provide extra power and offensive and defensive motion. Secret redneck kung fu technique.
Yeah.
Heck yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that redneck kung
Oh
fu is
yeah.
really crazy.
Yeah. I like
Yo,
when he does it too, man, and he, like, gets him
especially
in the throat.
chicken. Yeah, yo,
Sure.
he's hilarious. Like I don't know anybody that don't like Mark Briscoe. Just I don't know. There's something wrong with you.
Right, for sure.
Mm, That's
But,
100%. And
alright.
same match of the night we both got. You got your notes for the collision? I'll run through it quick, just like a quick 5-10 minutes.
Um, Collision,
I
so
got.
they
Go
did
ahead.
open up with, the TNT Championship match on night 1.
Yeah.
Um, match was okay, it went the distance, so they did that again with Adam Cole. Adam Cole has done that, like, he's goes, like, the distance of the match a couple of times, he's done
Yeah.
that. So, I didn't mind it too much. I definitely want to see more now, but
Yeah.
So
I agree. I wanna see more. I don't think that maybe I think one of you said this, might have said this already. Um I'm not sure. Well, in hindsight, it worked, because they got the ratings. The ratings was both nights, I believe, was up big
yeah,
for the past year ratings at least.
yeah. Collision
But
got I think 1.1 million overall.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But um
or just
I,
cable viewership. I mean,
yeah, it was like 560 and five over a million for the two nights combined, like five something and
yeah,
five something.
yep,
Um I do think maybe they should have started it with maybe something a little bit different. I guess I'm fine with the match and it going to the DQ, the
the time.
time limit and going to another match and running the feud. Remember I told you that on one of the last streams I was saying Daniel Garcia needs a good feud to sink his teeth into.
Yeah,
This is
this
that.
is it. Yeah,
This
this
is
is
it.
that.
So
Yeah.
so I got no problem with the way the match went.
Okay.
I do think they put it in an awkward spot because I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
people
think
after
that should have been the main event at night 2
yeah,
or
because
night 1, but
I
main
think
event.
yeah, after watching just my opinion, I think after watching the basketball match, they should have made something more friendly for someone to watch, like something
Yeah,
quicker to catch your attention
right.
to keep you watching, versus something that maybe went on a little bit longer than a casual wrestling fan wouldn't want to see. So
Mm,
um that would be my thing on that. But I mean, as far as both of them, both good wrestlers, both technicians. Danny Garcia is gonna get his money. He's gonna get. I mean, Tony Khan's gonna get his money worth out of that kid. He's gonna
yeah,
be special,
yeah,
for sure. And I think Adam Cole's gonna shut a lot of people up this year, where a lot of people just seem to be counting him out like he's not one of the best in the world, which is kind of silly.
yeah.
Uh,
That would be silly to say.
yeah, I just didn't like. I think they put them in a tough spot, and where it's also a good 20-minute match, you also put everyone that followed it up in a tough spot. So
Correct. Yeah,
that's
it's hard to
kind of
follow.
yeah, even though there's not a winner, you talk about two of the best technicians in the world
Yeah,
wrestling right
it
now.
was big technical match. Big on
Yeah,
the tech.
that they gotta follow. And a 20-minute performance. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
kind of didn't like the spot. But as far as the match, I mean I love the match. I love the two wrestlers. Um, I want to see this feud go on for a while, and I want Danny to get this big win, like
yeah.
a clean
Build
one.
them up more. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah, for sure. Um,
Max Caster and Hook.
yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I'm surprised Hook didn't come out with his normal entrance with the uh, what's that guy's name that
I
sings
think
the
it.
song?
I think
Action.
is that over with?
What
The,
the
I
song?
don't. I don't know if he's gonna use. Has he used that hook? I mean that beat recently or that
Not
thing.
not since he's joined the ops, but
It's he's not gonna get it. I'm gonna tell you why because
Action Bronson.
yeah,
That's
Action Bronson was running his mouth on a podcast about AEW, and then I
uh
haven't heard that song since.
oh,
So
for real. I didn't
eh,
catch that.
yeah, like was weird too because if you really think about it, like nothing about Action. Like first of all, I honestly don't know much of his music. I just know that he kind of first time I heard of him, he sound like a Ghostface Killer knockoff. That's what he sound like to me. Like you might need to give a voice back or two, right? But I know he had the Hook song. I think that song was fire for Hook.
Yeah.
Um, and I know they brought him around AEW. Like I've never been backstage. I don't chill with these people.
Hmm.
On the contrary to what these Twitter people think, we're not being paid by Tony Khan. So I
Ooh,
don't know what's going on there, right? But I know that he
dang.
went on. I think Ariel Hawani maybe, and
Oh,
he said that backstage in AEW was weird and it was weird vibes and basically it was just like
damn.
and then yeah, just I don't know what he's even talking about. I thought he was like good with them. I thought they was cool. You know what I'm saying? Um, But ever since then, that song's been gone. I haven't heard it since. That was probably like maybe like close to a month ago.
That
But
sucks because that was a pretty cool entrance music.
yes,
Yeah,
it's a dope entrance. The way he
yeah,
stops at the ramp, like
yeah,
I do like that song, fam.
yeah.
But
Chairman's intent.
yeah, watch when
But
you get a chance, just check out that
yeah, I
thing.
usually don't watch Ariel Hawani anymore, but I should
I
check
don't
that one out.
I don't watch it
Yeah,
neither. I just
yeah,
literally came across like the clip of him saying AEW is weird and the backstage is weird. Like that's
gotcha.
the gist of
Yeah, I
what
should
I
check that out.
yeah.
But yeah. Just trying to think what the last match of the night was for Collision, or what was next.
So yeah, you had the Hook basically squashed Caster.
Yeah, got him with the red
And
room.
let's see what else we had. No, that's not much. Oh, we had the Queen Aminata interview. This is still night one. Um,
Mm,
with Lexi, Deeb interrupted her. Deeb tried to give her, the Thousand Hoes book, the old Deeb Malenko. Remember the
yeah,
man 1,000 hoes? Now she's, the woman of 1,000 hoes. Um, tried to give her the book. She said she didn't need it, and then she basically walked off to go fight Julia for the third time. It was Queen Aminata versus Julia Hot 3. Um, is the actually not even the main event. That's the match before the main event at night one.
okay, yeah. So I missed one, missed
Don't
a couple.
don't worry about it. Did you get this? Did you see that match right there?
The Julia Hart match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
What did
It
you
was
think of it?
man. I liked it. It was a good match, good third round. Having troubles remembering who won though. It's been
They
a while.
went
I
back.
should have rewatched the show before
Nah,
tonight. But
don't worry about it. They
yeah,
went back and forth. So if I'm not mistaken, so Julia won one, the first one,
yeah. And then Queen of
Phenomenal
Model won second.
two, and
Yeah,
then Julia came back for
and
hers
won the third. Okay.
part three.
Yeah.
But yeah, still helps Aminata to be in a good feud and get the one win. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Get her up, get him out. You know.
I think she's talented. She got heavy potential too. I think Julia might have had some new gear too, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
Um, after that, there was actually one thing that I do want to say about that match. Julia got choke slammed on the apron viciously.
Oof.
Like, yeah, I don't even know. Aminata's out here doing choke slams on the apron now. So good for her. That
Dang, why can't I remember that?
yeah,
Okay.
that was probably that was um honestly that could have potentially been the match of the night on night one.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
I will have to go back and look through them again because I kind of skimmed through it that night too as well because we had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it was a decent match. After that, what we had was um the Harley. Oh, we got to break in by my cat. Hold on. We had a Harley interview with Lexi. When Lexi was trying to get it out of her that she's Harley Graham,
Yeah.
and
I
then
don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, and the Feel the Wrath ran
Yeah,
off.
feel the wrath.
One thing I'm gonna throw it out here now. I see it coming. They're gonna do a Beauty and the Beast angle with Harley
Interesting.
and Mortos. Watch. See it.
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah.
You see how they had like the couple of stare downs? I kind
Yeah.
of see it coming, like the Beauty
Oh
and
yeah,
the
during that match on the second night. Yeah,
yep,
they had
yep.
that stare down.
Outside on the outside of the ring, but and
Yeah.
in the backstage during the match before that, the night before. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they're building up the Beauty and the Beast right there somehow. Could be
Yeah.
interesting.
Could be.
Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
I'll say the match of both nights for me was the tag team match,
Oh,
the hologram and Commander versus Drolistico and Beast Mortos.
yeah, if it
Yeah.
was it right when you see both cards, you knew that was gonna win
Oh yeah.
for sure.
Man, they go crazy, man. They've got the best luchador wrestling right now.
Yeah,
AEW does.
it's funny that WCW is about to be passed this week, but they're basically what WCW was back in the days with the luchadors, like
Yeah, they
um
actually gave them time and
when they
stuff.
had
Yeah,
Psychosis, Rey Mysterio,
yeah,
Juventud Guerrero.
yeah.
Um,
I miss those days, man.
yeah, they was loaded. They was loaded with the luchadors then. Now AEW's probably that on steroids, realistically, because they got
Pretty
a
much.
lot more. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if WCW ever had like they had big names, but right now we're talking about Kenny
They weren't
Omega,
right.
Osprey, Jay White, Swerve Strickland. It's like you didn't have they
Those
had a
names weren't quite that big yet back in WCW.
yeah
They were still
they
kinda new and stuff, so
yeah like they had the solidified names that was a little bit past their prime, and then they had the guys that they didn't put the backing behind, and they lost them all, like Jericho,
yeah,
Benoit, even though
yeah,
that's a
Benoit.
sad story.
Yep.
Um, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko and Saturn probably didn't have that level of star power, but they left with them. Then you had like the Booker T's and stuff that they didn't want to push till like a new writers came in, and by that time it was like you already
Too
done
late.
lost all your young talent. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, you know how that went. We watched that young talent grow for the past 30 years in other companies, doing amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
can't forget Rey Mysterio either.
Oh, Rey
He was there
Mysterio,
back then. Yeah.
my number one,
Yep.
that's my goat.
But
In the main event that you was looking for night one, bro,
yeah.
it was Briscoe, Rocky Romero, and Hobbs versus the Murder Machines and Takeshita.
Okay. I was trying to figure out how that match went.
Don
Uh,
Callis family,
interfered.
no,
Yeah.
they won.
Or
They
oh, they
just
won.
they
Okay.
won strong. I think Takeshita, who I forgot who got pinned, but they won. They just look strong. I think I do want to say that Davis might have interfered, but
Yeah, something like that. I thought so.
Davis interfered, but it was like a pointless interference. Like I don't think
Mm,
it really, they used it to keep the other team looking strong, but it was literally a pointless interference because realistically, if you look at the way it went down, you got the Murder Machines at Takeshita, and you got Briscoe, Romero, and Hobbs, right? As long as Hobbs ain't taking the pin, you know what team
you're
was gonna
good.
lose.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So that's how I would take that. That match overall, I know you was kind of like off and on that night. It
Yeah.
was a decent match. You know how their trios matches are fast paced, a lot of action.
Yep.
Um, wouldn't give it the match of the night. There was maybe a few spots that real good spots, and then a couple spots that I didn't personally like. Not on account of anybody. I think it's just like kind of little bit of bad chemistry on a few of the parts in that match. But what did you think of what you could remember with that match?
Um, it was okay. Uh, I wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular. It was okay. It was a good match. So
That's it. Just kind of remind me of like one of those all-star matchups they have where it's kind of maybe just
getting
together.
everybody on TV, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
We'll go
night,
ahead and with night two.
yeah. You want to start off night two, or you want me to start it?
You started.
All right. So night two, we started off with we had our Kitty Aura announced in the first match, right? So then it was the trios match, the BCC, one of their first, and only trios titles matches. I don't
Yeah.
even know if the
One of the
belts.
ones we talked about. One of the two.
Yeah, exactly. Um, versus AI Fox, which we've talked about a few times on our show recently.
Oh yeah, I liked that match. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy that he's been on TV. He's actually, it seems like he's with Top Flight now.
Yeah. Weren't you saying something about that last week?
Yeah,
How you'd like to see him with that group or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to
Yeah.
see him showcase, but I still want to see him repackage. Like, even if them
Right.
three get the same uniforms, kind of like how Leo or Andretti was doing,
Yeah.
get
That'd be cool.
repackage him. Because he's definitely like he's the perfect one to lead that group. like if they do this right, because Top Flight, I mean, the guy's an animal when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I
that
love.
that
I like his matches. Yeah.
yeah, that match had I mean, all his matches have good energy. We've already talked about. I had the notes that I mean, I want them to. I wanted to repackage himself because I feel like he could probably figure that out. I don't want them to just completely change him. That's not what I'm looking for here.
Okay.
They did have Andretti and Rush. Um,
Come out right. They
yeah,
got in the ring, didn't they?
yeah. I think they was first watching, but then at the end they came out and they attacked them.
Yeah. I remember that.
I mean, you know that the match was predictable. You know what I'm saying? You knew
Yeah.
BCC wasn't losing.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
I feel like it was more to further Andretti and Rush versus Top Flight.
Yeah.
Um, they've been building on that like seems like a while now. You notice that?
Yeah. I think they're just finding some time to do it or to start it fully.
Yeah, I feel like they're at least putting time into it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're having
Let
them.
it build up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're building it up. Like these are the type things you need to do with your mid and undercards specifically. Like some of those haymakers you could just throw out there, but when it's the middle card feuds and stuff, if
Yeah.
you can build those up, it's gonna help everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I do appreciate that.
Their
What
story. Yeah.
yeah, what do you think about Andretti and Rush?
Mm, I'm not really. I've never really been big on either one of them. Uh, I liked when they were doing their top flight stuff, but
All
I don't
four of
know.
them together?
Yeah, all four of them together. But I mean, I'm interested to see where they go to see if they end up facing for the tag belts or something, or trios. I guess if they bring in AR Fox, but I'm
Yeah,
interested to see where it goes. It's just right now there's so many other things going on, kind of like what Runner was saying earlier.
yeah.
That it's I
There's a
can
lot going on. Yeah.
yeah, it's I'm interested, but there's so much else that my mind is on.
They
So
gotta give you something. They gotta give you something to hook you in.
yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
right.
Every storyline's like one good move away from dragging you in, but you
No,
gotta
for sure.
keep the stories going. Um, the next things that we have here. Oh, and they did. Andretti and Leo Rush did choke them out with the chains. They was
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a little savage at the end. So they
Yeah, it
showed a
was.
little bit of violence and villain persona there. Now after that, they had the Adam Cole and Undisputed interview with Lexi, where he challenges DG for the rematch for the TNT title.
Yeah, at Dynasty.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also Kyle and Roderick basically said they want FTR again as well, so it kind of was like a double promo.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I remember that part. Thought it was okay. It was pretty good. Adam Cole, stop sleeping on him. So I think some people do, but he still got it.
Undisputed is getting their groove again, I think.
Yeah, and that's good too because injuries plagued that group so bad.
It,
So
it has everywhere they've been. It's
yeah,
that's been kind of like the number one heel, Achilles heel for their group.
it's just injuries. Like Matt Taven's out right now, or was it Mike Bennett that was injured? I think,
I,
and then of course Wardlow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, One thing, this is kind of random, but it's on topic. Man, I love Roderick Strong with the yelling. Like
Oh yeah,
that,
Kyle.
yeah,
Yeah.
that yelling, like when he stopped doing that for like when they first got like it was
When
like a
he's-
week or two they got back together. He wasn't yelling. I was so depressed. I
yeah.
was in depression.
I liked when he did it with Adam.
Yeah, like orange. Like you know what I'm
Orange.
saying? Like when
Yeah.
he's yelling, it's like Roderick Strong's always been a great wrestler, but he never had much personality. Like when you throw the glasses on him and you have him yelling at people, it's just like
It's the
that's
best.
my shit. I would have been happy you gave him the heavyweight title with that gimmick. I'd be 1,000% honest with you. I love Roderick Strong.
Yeah, me
Um,
too, man. He's cool
yeah.
people.
As far as the promo, I just think Undisputed is getting their feet under them again. So I
Yeah.
think we're probably about to go on a nice ride with them. Cicely did say something over here. Brian Cage, oh yeah, Brian Cage catching Rocky. Remember when he dove to the outside and he caught him?
Hmm.
He catch him. And Brian Cage is a monster. And then he said Rocky's diving senton into a suplex carry into Takeshita's apron power bomb was a thing of beauty. Sheesh. That
Yeah,
was it.
it was pretty sick.
That's that AEW. We're the best wrestle stuff. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Um, what did you think? Oh, that's the next thing. What did you think about the Okada promo?
Oh, funny as always. What do you say?
He
Something
said
about female dogs and
he
my
said
bitches.
he said what did he say? He said I put those dogs down.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
she said
Yeah.
what? She said what? He said what? He said I put those bitches to sleep.
Yeah. I love Okada, man. He's hilarious.
No, Okada's the man. Like I
Yeah.
don't know why people can't just be happy he's having fun. Like
I'm happy he's having
yeah,
fun.
like
Like,
it's like he's getting the biggest bag he's ever got in his life. He's
yeah.
learning English. He's
Yeah.
learning new wrestling styles. He's having fun,
He's
and he's
had
with his
matches
friends.
too. Like,
And he's with
people are
his
saying
friends.
he's had matches too. Like, he's had plenty of them, and people are like, I've seen some people complain that they're not having matches, and I'm like, no, he's having matches. He's had some good ones too. So
Sure.
that's my thought on it. But yeah, that promo was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. The next match was Johnny TV, which I feel like is super underappreciated everywhere he goes
Yeah.
for some reason. Um, versus Bandito. It's pretty good match. What did you think
Yeah.
about that one?
Uh, I was really stoked to see John Morrison back on or wrestling again, and him having a match, and uh, he still got it in the ring. He moves so well.
Yeah, like,
He's still flipping around and doing shit. So I really appreciate John Morrison or Johnny TV, I guess I should call him. But
yeah. I don't know why he's like just never like it doesn't seem like he's ever like gets is well Lucha Underground, I think for a while.
he get a push there?
Yeah, like
Or,
Lucha Underground was treating him right. You know,
yeah,
but I just feel like he's like he just like has everything to be a star. And I know in the beginning in a couple of companies kind of was.
yeah,
But it just seems like now he's just like I don't know. He's just
kind
like
of like a filler or something.
he's like a just like the pin guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he's just like a worker. Like
Yeah.
obviously you still getting a check, you still, employed, like nothing wrong with that. But
I'd like to see him with a singles title or something though,
yeah,
or
like
try to go for a big one or
he
something.
hasn't even got like there's even other than the Dalton Castle feud, like I
Yeah,
don't know if you
which that ended because of injury.
yeah, I
So
can't wait for Dalton Castle to come back. Big
yeah,
Dalton Castle
that
fan.
dude's hilarious.
Yeah, but like I think that's the only feud he's had. Like
Right,
real feud.
real actual feud. Yeah,
Yeah, like I would like to just see him go with the vendetta and just be a little bit more serious and like because I feel like now he's kind of like the same as he was when he was like I'll just keep it simple when he was with Miz. Like he's the same exact
mhm,
character right now. And I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It's like goofy. Right?
yeah. Let's get to. I guess was the tag match the main event, or I
Um
felt
let's
maybe it
see.
was.
There was a Megan Bain package, which wasn't, it's just a video package they've been
Yeah.
airing. Um, there's the Tony Storm promo, which she cut a pretty good promo.
Oh yeah, she came out on stage.
Yep,
Yeah,
she cut a pretty good promo. But I mean, we can. I know we trying to get out of here. It's getting late.
yeah,
Everybody knows Tony killed it. We
yeah,
don't
for sure.
need to
She
dive into
always
that.
does.
Yeah, Holly Cameron defeated a local talent. Wasn't
Right. Yeah.
wasn't really much there. Um, Callis and Fletcher did the interview with Lexi, letting people know he's not laid up in the hospital. He's
Right.
he's
Yeah.
back. And he'll be facing um Brody, the match that he just had. Um, and then we had the main event, which was the Mortos and Jalistico versus Hologram and Commander with Holly on commentary.
Yeah, Harley on commentary is hilarious. Then
Yeah,
she had to get up and go make a phone call to a friend, and then out comes Harley Graham.
yeah.
Yeah,
She's hilarious. That Hurricane Rana, I feel like off the apron to the outside, Jalisco's
yeah,
been doing that like a couple of times. He's killing people with that.
that
Yeah,
move's awesome. Yeah,
that move is crazy. I still need Roosh back on TV though. That's
yeah.
still
I don't
kind
know
of
what's up with that.
I
Wish
I don't
we
know.
could know.
Roosh made my top 10 only to just never be on TV.
Yeah.
He's just number 10 in spirit at this point.
Yeah. I don't forget about the kid that roasted Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
Cicely had mentioned that in the chat.
for sure.
Uh, that was hilarious. That kid was
Yep.
like my cousin and mouthing it off at Jericho,
It has
and
to
then
be a
flipped him
Restless
off.
Kid. It has to be a Restless Kid.
Something. Or that kid's gonna be a future wrestler
No,
for
for
sure.
sure. Regardless, he's a
Yeah.
future wrestler. You've seen
Yeah.
it. But my thing is this: the way Jericho was baiting him, it's like you
Yeah.
basically was baiting him to say some
Yeah.
wild shit now. So it's like I feel like he already knew that little kid. Like you remember what
Maybe.
was it last time they had the kids in the crowd, and then we found out it was one of their kids. Like I feel
Uh,
like that's got to be like a wrestler's kid to be going hard like that. He's
yeah.
dropping f bombs, middle fingers, dropping abs on you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what is going on
Look
here?
at that. Yeah.
Yo, only
Kid
yo,
was ripped.
yeah, that little kid was wild, man. And another thing too, we went over 180 people. We're at 183. Shout out to
Awesome.
all of you. We'll probably be here for like another 3 to 5 minutes. Then we're gonna sign
Yeah.
out. Feel free to send any questions over still to the DM group chat. For the next episode we drop.
Right.
We're gonna be dropping a lot more frequently too. Not everything's gonna be live though, but we're gonna be dropping a lot more content.
Yep. For sure.
You have anything else you wanna run over before we wrap up?
Uh, the only thing I'll say, that tag team match was my favorite match of both nights.
Oh, absolutely.
Those guys just go crazy every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Same
So
thing you said. Remember, there's 2 nights, but they really just count as the one night. So
yeah,
same thing. That would be my match of the night, and I'm gonna double down what you said earlier. AEW right now, even though they just lost two of the best luchadors in the world, they still have the best luchador division in the
oh
world,
yeah, they definitely do.
like for sure.
The best
Or
lucha matches, at least. Yeah,
at least in the United States. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I ain't gonna, throw anything on other, companies and stuff that's outside of the US. But in the US, like based out here, AEW has the best luchador division in the world.
heck
By
yeah,
far.
by far. Yep. Anything else you want to add?
Nah, I mean
No.
it's good to get the 2 episodes in one.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure we get out some, some other content. Just come up with some ideas. Same thing with you people that's watching. Any ideas you would like us to do, send them over. We'll start doing episodes, whether it's top tens, match breakdowns, watch alongs. You let us Q&As. You let us know what you want us to do, and we'll start dropping more content to accommodate your needs.
Yep.
But I'm ready to sign out if you are, my brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This was a good episode, good long episode,
Yeah,
covering both Dynamite and Collision. We appreciate you very much being here. We hit 183. That's pretty good.
yeah,
So we appreciate y'all very much. Thank y'all and good night.
for sure. And make sure you follow at Took Timbo on all social medias. Follow me at Mob Squad 508 on pretty much all social medias. And everybody have a great night. We'll see you soon.
See ya.